Yes.
ॐ श्री गणेशाय नमः। ॐ श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। यो अन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। समचरणसरोजम् सान्द्रनीलाम्बुदाभम् जगननिहितपाणिम् मण्डनम् मण्डनानाम् तरुणतुलसीमालाम् कन्धरम् कञ्जनेत्रम् सदयधवलहासम् विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि विठ्ठलं चिन्तयामि। Pranams to the Lord. Pranams to all the Mahatmas in tonight's Eknathi Bhagawat session. We are in chapter 11. We have done first 1 to 5 verses. We start tonight with 1 to 5 6. Now please listen to the various ways by which a devotee may perform ceremonies purported to be my worship. My devotee observes the penance on auspicious days attributed to me and finds out himself some ways and means of uplifting the poor. Not only this, he inspires others to do similar works. 1257. There are certain days considered auspicious in the Bhagavata way of life. There are birthdays of Narasimha, Rama, Vamana, Krishna, and also the Shivaratra. 1258. It is wrong to say that Shivratra is not meant for Vaishnavas. Vyasa has clearly stated that in no mythological book Shivratra is described as prohibited for Vaishnavas. 1259. The Lord Shankara was dark colored, originally because of the tamas quality, but became fair by meditating on Lord Vishnu. And the Lord Vishnu became dark by meditating on Lord Shiva. Thus, they are having the colors of each other. 1260. Thus, the Lord Shankara became fair as cow's milk, and Lord Vishnu has become beautifully dark. Meditation is so powerful that they got each other's body color. 1261. Originally, both are one. Why should the worshippers think that they are against each other? Shivratri is not against Vaishnavas, and the day is auspicious for all. 1262. Ekadashi is a day liked by the Lord. It is the mine of every goodness. It is uplifting for both, and it is mother of Vaishnavas. 1263. This Ekadashi, the 11th day of the bright, as also the dark phase of moon, is able to carry the devotee on its shoulder and give Sayujya state. 1264. If only one Ekadashi is observed, it will be cutting one wing of a bird, then how can it fly? 1265. If a bird has both the wings, it can fly. And if one wing is cut, how can it fly? Thus, if the darker phase of the moon is omitted, one cannot reach Sayujya. 1266. Ekadashi is such an important day that every ceremony observed on Ekadashi is received by me. 1267. I reside in the house of my devotee who observes Ekadashi because Ekadashi is the highest auspicious day. 1268. The devotee who observes Ekadashi is the king of all observances. I like him. He is my family member. 1269. When my devotee approaches any house, all the auspicious days are present with him there. For Vaishnavas, it is like Dasara or Deepavali festival, and all the sacred tirthas assemble at their house. 1270. That day is more important than the special days of eclipse of sun and moon. Kapila Shashti is housemaid of that day. The Ardhodaya, etc. times are out of question. 1271. Very auspicious is the day when my devotee comes to any house. The household is so joyful that the joy is not contained in his body and mind. He will dance with ecstasy even if lot of money and grains are spent for them. 1272. So, the love of my devotees and the pleasure of the company are like the crop of my devotion. The day when saints come to his house, he as if gains the benefits of innumerable auspicious days. 1273. When the saints come to his house, the Vaishnava observes that as the most sacred day. He erects temples of Sri Hari, hang banners, hoist flags, and by erecting Makhara, etc., observes a great festival. 1274. Vaishnavas respectfully offer good seats to the saints and tactfully arrange kirtana, dances, and music, etc. 1275. They beat musical instruments, play on stringed instruments, including tal, veena, mridanga, etc., sing songs of my biography, make great noise of collective singing and shouting the name of Hari. यात्रा बलिविधानञ्च सर्ववार्षिकपर्वसु वैदिकी तान्त्रिकी दीक्षा मदीयव्रतधारणम्. Meaning of the verse: the observance of my day includes pilgrimage, offering food to ancestors and gods on all anniversaries, then receiving on initiation of worship according to Vedas and Tantras, and further taking vows of observing fasts, etc., on days of importance in my life. 1276. Now, listen about initiation. There are two types. One is according to Vedas, and the other is according to Tantras. The initiation given with the mantras from Veda is called by that name, and the initiation given by uttering the verses from Puranas is the initiation by Tantras. 1277. Vaishnava initiation means to undertake the vows to do daily duties according to certain code of conduct. It contains continuous repetition of mantras in a specialized method of 5 nights. This is the main sign of Vaishnava vow according to Puranas. 1278. In this, one has to observe ceremonies and fasts every year and Ekadashi and birthdays on the 4 particular months which cover the rainy season, that is Chaturmasa. Okay. 1279. There are such days like Shayani, Katini, Prabodhini, Pavitra Ropani, Niranjini, Vasanta Dhamana, Karopini, and other birthdays are to be observed. 1280. In this way, they have to arrange for festivals consisting of various puja rituals, Niranjana and Deepamana, etc., to be illuminated, and percussion instruments like mridanga, tal, etc. to be used. 1281. They should start with great energy of pilgrimage. They should carry with them flags, banners, and processions, and shout collectively the name of God. 1282. They may bring that image of the God to see, which at the origin temple they go for pilgrimage, but among them only that image should be established in their house, in which they have great faith. ममार्चास्थापने श्रद्धा स्वतः संहत्य चोद्यमः उद्यानोपवना क्रीडपुरमन्दिरकर्मणि. Meaning of the verse. In establishing my image and doing its worship, there should be faith, and one should have great eagerness and hard work to create and develop udyanas, gardens, playgrounds, townships, and temples, etc. 1283. Now I give details about making of image, which should be best in the arrangement of its limb. The body should be proportionate and beautiful. When any sages look at it, they should exclaim, "Oh, what a perfect, majestic, and comely image this is." 1284. The image must be very fine in its outline. It should be thin. Its face should not be downward. It should not be heavy and fat, and its mouth should not be upwards. There should not be expression of sorrow and depression on its face. 1285. The image should not be abnormally fat. Its face should not be ugly, and the expression of the face should not be unhappy or pitiable. The eye should not look very much up or very much down. The face of the image must not be monstrous and menacing. 1286. Sometimes some image is good in the body, but the nose is not proper. Sometimes the upper portion of the image is all right, but its feet either thin, short, fat, and tiny. This should be avoided. Further, the image should not be extraordinarily large or tall. 1287. The image should be lovely with proportionate, beautiful eyes. All limbs should be well developed, and the face should be slightly smiling. There should not be any defect in the main parts of the body as well as its smaller parts. There should be auspicious signs, and image should have weapons in its hand. 1288. The mind should be satisfied, and one must forget his hunger and thirst as soon as one looks at it. The image should be handsome, smiling, and benign, and the whole outer surface should create an impression of delicacy. 1289. The image should be so pleasant that everybody would like it. The mind will be full of emotion. People will not say enough while looking at it. 1290. There should be delicate ethereal smile on its face and freshness of presence. By the power of its beauty, kind feeling should arise in the heart. Thus, the image of God should be totally beautiful or divinity made manifest. 1291. The devotee should invite respectable sages and religious personages, and with the faith, the ceremony of purification by fire should be done. Then the cover upon its eyes should be removed, and consecration should be made by charging it with pranava mantras. 1292. The temple should be built on generous proportions. It should be spacious, and around it there should be vana, udyana, and upavana. In the precincts of the temple, there should be horticultural gardens, tanks, wells, pools, and nice places for taking rest. 1293. Vana, forest, is a place where many larger trees are planted. Upavana is a garden where trees giving eatable fruits are planted. Udyana is a garden where only flowery trees are planted. Various flowers and suitable fruits should be used in worship and offered to Lord Krishna. 1294. Making the temple as the center of the city, there should be markets developed by calling various merchants from many cities. In the temple, there should be recitation of Veda, discourses on philosophy and sciences, and kirtanas, lectures about the adventures of God in prose and poetic form with musical instruments. 1295. No doubt, one man cannot do all these things, but he may approach for money to rich and generous persons, and taking their help, he should accomplish this religious project as far as possible without irritation and with real devotion. 1296. In the alternative, all the devotees may gather together in a conference to discuss the project, and if some devotional rich people will help, this should be achieved by the funds. 1297. Supposing one such person finishes all this work, and the image is also consecrated, and the temple becomes popular, but he himself never goes to the temple again. He is the most lazy and unfortunate person. We cannot call him a true devotee. 1298. A real devotee who knows the duty of establishing an image in a temple, spends a lot of money, and has great devotion in his heart, is not ashamed of doing any menial work in the temple, and saying that this is also my job. He does not hesitate to sweep the yard by taking a broom. सम्मार्जनोपलेपाभ्यां सेकमण्डलवर्तनैः गृहशुश्रूषणं मह्यं दासवद्यदमायया. Meaning of the verse. My temple should be kept clean and tidy, as by a servant, by removing their dust and plastering their floor with cow dung, etc., washing their floor and decorating it with ornamental designs and diagrams in guileless way without any expectation of return. 1299. Though there may be disciples and servants to do the job, the devotee should leave aside his prestige and self-importance, and himself sincere to do the work or sprinkling of water in the yard of the temple. 1300. He carefully and skillfully decorates the flooring with colorful arrangements in geometrical designs of stone, of quartz, etc., and he has great interest in my worship. 1301. He does the service like a poor needy person. He has no hypocrisy. He takes lot of interest and does all types of service in the temple with great joy, though these jobs are meant for laborers. Amanitvamadambhitvam krutasya parikirtanam api deepavalokam me nopayunjan niveditam. Meaning of the verse. There should be absence of hypocrisy and no advertisement of what one has done for the temple. Once some things, including the lighted lamp, are offered to me, these should not be reused for others or for other purposes. 1302. He does not have pride about his having spent a lot of money and built a temple, and that he is a great devotee of the god. 1303. Really pious devotees do not have a superficial show about their devotion, like a hypocrite who has no inner faith but makes a tom-tom of his devotion. 1304. A devotee should not have pride or desire to be honored or felicitated. False show of worship he should never do and should not be proud about any other matter. 1305. He should not make publicity of whatever money he has spent, charity he has given, or reveal to others whatever inner experiences he has got. 1306. When a devotee begins to tell by his own mouth what he has done or achieved, all that becomes fruitless. These actions are then like a dead body. 1307. When the farmer sows the seed, he covers it up by soil. Then only it nicely sprouts. Similarly, any devotion giving retains its sanctity so long as it is not advertised. 1308. One should not take for personal use whatever one has offered to God, whatever is offered to God by some others. If one uses it, he becomes merely an appointed pujari worshipper. 1309. Even the prasad of the deity should not be taken by us in more quantity. It should first be distributed amongst those who are present, and then we should take a small portion of it. 1310. If a lamp is offered to the deity, the light of that lamp should not be used by us for our own private activities. This is the guideline given by men of wisdom and also in the mythological books. 1311. This concerns the outward way of puja, etc. But together with this, there must be deep trust and faith in our heart. Only that devotion is liked by God. The puja of God is done by pious people by their inner devotion only. 1312. Now please listen to the secret of real devotion. The people call it the true devotion. When one offers to God everything best and the most liked by devotee. Yad yadishtatamaloke yachati priyamaatmanaha tattannivedayen me mahyam tattannivedayen mahyam tadanantyaya kalpate. Meaning of the verse. Whatever is considered the best in the world and whatever is liked most by us should be offered to God. That's me. That spells eternal happiness. 1313. What more should I say? Even if the devotee by chance gets the nectar of the moon, he offers it as it is to the god. He does not selfishly drink it. 1314. If one takes that nectar oneself in order to live forever, one should consider that even the gods who drink the nectar have to end their life eventually. 1315. Therefore, the devotee does not take nectar by his attachment to his body. If it is offered to God, it gives eternal life to devotee. Oh, I think we can stop over here and we should have stopped by.
Yes, the Jeevji mentioned that he was caught up at work, and I believe he has messaged you. Probably
I have not seen. Oh, no, so much. Yeah, I have not seen. I've not been on mobile for now past so many hours.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. It's okay. Doesn't matter. Such lovely reading about how to make the temple, what should be done, and how we should contribute. I can give my parents example about my father. He built a temple and nobody knows about it. And to do the seva in the temple, so those days, it was in 1983. So before that, maybe 1980 probably, the land and all. So it was completely in those days very outside where nobody would go that kind of a land into it. And then to look, because it's so very far, then he got another plot. So he constructed a house. And that house opening was in 1983. So the temple thing was even before that. That's why I said it before. So I grew up in that house. Now, when all this description is coming, I'm thinking of my mother and my father. So my father's guru, Rama Devi, and the Devi Swaroop is Ramambika. And there were no funds coming in. And he did only two things in life, his work and this temple. No family kind of. So he has three children, but nothing. So it is the temple and his work. Work is his office. He had his own business. And there, when the line came that you have to smear it with cow dung and all, so my mom was doing that. So initially, the temple had no roof. So first, foundation took a long time. Then only the brick walls were there. It was not even plastered. And so then still the things are happening over there. So my mom was doing, and it was quite a big temple. Okay. Uh, the space, I think more than 3,000 square feet should be that hall kind of. And nobody knows. It's not talking much. If the funds come, that is fine. Otherwise, he's pouring little and he's doing. All this reading, what was happening, I was seeing my father into it. My mom supported him. Okay. So the malas were made. She would make the malas. No needle is used. Different ways with the hand, different kinds of stitches with the hand. Some malas had different thread pattern in the front and a different thread pattern back. Such lovely malas. It was all done only to please the Lord. Those days we didn't have this mobile phone. So there's no pictures or anything taken. But there's not, because it's so much in the outskirts, there's not so many people coming in. So it's not advertised. It's not like for people. There's not so much happening. Only for the Lord. So when all these words that has been said, I have seen that. And then when dana has to be done, how so many saints have come and lived in our house, and so many saints have visited because of my father, and he would give respect to all of that. So what all it was said over there, that all happened. I means that reading was saying, I was feeling, hey, this is what my father did, this is what my father did, this. So I was reading actually his, and the way they had described, like you have to hold the fast. So, okay, both of them didn't hold Ekadashi fast, but they had some other fast, I think, for the Devi, they did or something. And then Godana and this yaga and this homa and that homa. Something or the other continuously was happening. So I felt today's reading um, now only after so many years. So I told story of 1980 story. So now how many years have passed, right? Okay. So now only I realized that gravity of what the parents were doing. Honestly, I didn't like it that time. Such a boring thing. Inclination was not there. So we would like to play. We would not like to. But now, when today I'm reading that gravity of, they followed actually what our scripture said, is now today after whatever donkey years have gone in between, just like that. But as a child at that time, never liked it. Never liked it. It was so boring because when you read it over here, now only you realize that this is how it has to be done. So I felt today's reading was some eye opener. And this memory flashed like this now. So I could express this. And one place they said, no, that who is doing will be Sayujya, like that, right? So both my parents, I could see that at the time of their death, they were peaceful. And more so, I can say of my father. And he had multiple fractures and all, and now and then we do admit him in the hospital. But if you ask him, how are you? Uh, Uttam ahe, he will say. He would speak Marathi. He will say, I'm fantastic. He never uttered he has pain, he has some difficulty. And while like this in his sickness, he was to lose his senses. He would be in coma for some time, unconscious for some time. And I was doing lot of chanting, Vishnu Sahasranam, Lalita Sahasranam, like that back to back. You wouldn't believe when Lalita Sahasranam would start, in his unconscious status, his lips would start moving and he would chant Lalita Sahasranam. So a person who has done whole life this Devi Seva, for them only it will come at the end on the lips. Those who have not done, it will not come. Okay, I have to think of the Lord and then I will get Sayuja. No, you can't think of the Lord that time. You would be thinking the same thing what you've been thinking all the life. So this I could say because I have seen this. So there was once one Amavasya and I thought I should chant because he is like this and he is lying unconscious. Once the Lalita. So I did back to back. I did Vishnu Sahasranam also. I did Lalita Sahasranam also back to back. When Lalita Sahasranam, because he's been doing that whole life chanting daily Pasad. So I could see that. I could see his smile always, and I could see his face always. One of the photos probably one day I can share. Just so beautiful, so beautiful. So all this when he said that they would reach Sayuja, and then on the dark moon you have to do this and this and that. So all that I have seen. I have that experience. So I felt today's reading was, my God, it's an offering to my parents on here. Beautiful. Okay, if anybody has any thoughts, please do share.
Isn't it? I mean, but it's their blessings that you are also able to, offer your service. Or
I
I mean,
know value. That time it was a really a pain. I'm ashamed to say this. That didn't like it. Okay.
mm,
So we were like 7, 8, 10 years, whatever. Oh, what bhajan kirtan, so boring. Pravachan to sit and hear pravachan is so boring. Like that it was. But see, all this is and the lamps were separate in the house. We can't use those lamps. Like that and all was there.
mm,
So when they said that the lamp has to be like this, and my mom's prasad making, God only knows how they would know how many people are going to come. Whatever prasad she has made would be for those number of people. Single-handed. It's not that servants were there or something.
wow.
Single-handed. Single-handed prasad making her. And help from us? Zero. To lift one glass from her and there to wash something and give to the. No, we didn't like it. We means three of us. Three of us were like this. I feel so ashamed, but when he has said in today's book how that should be, what has to be done, everything was
Is
done.
the
And
temple still there?
sorry, the
Is the
temple, the temple is still there. Unfortunately, it has been usurped by somebody who is wanting to demolish the temple to build a multi-story building
oh,
uh, give ground floor for the temple, something like that. So,
oh,
uh, yeah. So so I'm seeing the other side also. I don't want to talk about it because it's a crazy thing, and which my brother is now fighting it out, um, in the court and whatever. But somebody want to demolish it because they would get few crores of rupees.
wow.
Who? Not the temple. They personally have taken it, thinking it is. So people are also like the Hindus only, and their minds are gone
Like,
crazy that somebody can think of demolish a temple to building a multi-story building so that the builders would give them crores and how many floors you would set, and then one floor of the temple. It doesn't work like that. Uh, but hopefully, God is witnessing me, so uh, He will give them whatever sadbuddhi He will do, or He would prevent their buddhi in taking shape and form. This is the only prayer. But let it be. God is there. We have to fight. I'm not in that fight. I'm away from that place. So my brother is holding on the fort over there. Never mind. So we'll have to end in a positive note that it's not in the book. This is the bottom line. That okay, the scriptures are saying like this. No, it is a first-hand experience for me that it is being done. And probably if we can go behind and think about what our parents, grandparents have done, probably all of us would also have a similar experience.
I think it is their grace and blessings that we are here in this position to be able to read these and read all the other texts. If it was not for their blessings, where would ever? So for me, I'm every day. I started
Yes.
late, but I'm reading it finally.
No, and so even I keep on thanking God that to have this much
Yes.
grace to be able to hold a
Hold up.
scripture in a hand.
Yeah.
It's a grace. It is not our, it's a grace.
Yes, that grace.
His grace continuously flow on us.
Yes, and also to the next generation is my prayer.
Yes, yes, very true. That's in today's session. And
Yes.
meet tomorrow from 1, 3, 1, 6. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम् श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु
Hari Om.
Hari
Thank you.
Om, everyone. Thank you for
Thank you.
joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bhattaji. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.